Hi friends, this is your Anar sir, welcoming you to Anar Academy. Today I have come up with a new lesson. The name of the lesson is Lost Spring, written by Anis Jen. She was born in Rourkela and spent her childhood and adolescence in Hyderabad. She received her education in Hyderabad and in the United States of America. Her parents were both writers. Anis Jen began her career as a writer in India. She has been an editor and columnist for major newspapers in India and abroad, and has authored several books. The following is an extract from her book titled Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. Here she analyzes the grinding poverty and traditions which condemn these children to a life of exploitation. So now let us start reading the lesson. Why do you do this? I asked Sahib when I encounter every morning scrounging for gold in the garbage dumps of my neighborhood. Sahib left his home long ago, set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. His home is not even a distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. His home is not even a distant memory. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. His mother tells him that's why they left looking for gold in the big city where he now lives. So, your narrator daily meets a boy whose name is Sahib. And Sahib collects valuable things from the garbage. So the narrator asked, why does he do all this? You see, the narrator in this story asks some useless questions. So she should know that Sahib belongs to that family who get everything by collecting valuable things from the garbage. Clear? So, Sahib and his family members migrated from Dhaka. Dhaka means your Bangladesh, where their life was miserable, full of dangers, so they left all their property there and shifted to India. I have nothing else to do, he mutters. So this is the answer for the first question. Why do you do this? Looking away. Looking away means here from this we can understand this Sahib lacks self-confidence. Sahib lacks self-confidence. Go to school, I say glibly, realizing immediately how hollow the advice must sound. So the narrator advised Sahib to go to school and get some proper education, which is a hollow advice, because the parents of Sahib could not afford the cost of education for Sahib. So there is no school in my neighborhood. So that also this boy took positively. So he said, as soon as a school is opened in my area, immediately I take admission. When they build one, I will go. If I start a school, will you come? I ask. This is the second silly question posed by the narrator. In case if I start a school, she knew very well that her duty is not opening a school. Still, she made a false question, a false promise. If I start a school, will you come? Half joking. Yes, he says, smiling broadly. So he felt very happy that somebody has come to educate him. So he felt happy and said yes. A few days later, I see him running up to me. Is your school ready, ma'am? So again, when this boy saw the narrator, he came running and asked whether her school is ready or not. That means he was very much believing this narrator would start a school and he would get some proper education. So when that boy asked like that, the narrator felt sad and she said, it takes longer to build a school. She felt sad. What? For giving a false promise to that boy. At having made a promise that was not meant, she knew very well that this promise of opening a school for such children is not at all possible. So she felt sad for that. But this boy is not at all realizing that. But promises like mine abound in every corner of his bleak world. So in that area, people got habit of listening such promises. Understood? Day in, day out, they see a lot of politicians come and make false promises. So they got the habit of listening to all these things. After months of knowing him, I asked him his name. So after passing some time, she asked the name of that boy. He said, Sahib-e-Alam. He announces. He said that his name is Sahib-Alam. He announces. He does not know what it means. Suppose if he knew the meaning of the actual meaning of his name, he would feel sorry for having that name. Why? Because if he knew its meaning, what is the meaning? Lord of the universe. He would have a hard time believing it. That means name is Sahiba Alam and leading a very poor life. So that is the thing. Both are contrast to each other. Unaware of what his name represents, he roams the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who appear like morning birds and disappear at noon. So actually their work will be up to noon only. Till noon they collect all valuable things from the garbage and take that and hand over that thing to their parents. What their parents do, they sell that and get some money in exchange of that garbage and they lead their life. So once she asked another silly question. What is that? Why aren't you wearing chappals? I asked one. Suppose if the boy has a pair of chappal, will he stop wearing it? So that boy took positively because they got habituated to listen this type of comments. My mother did not bring them down from the shelf, he answered simply. That means my mother didn't buy. My mother didn't buy. So another boy having a fun of it. Even if she did, he will throw them off. Adds another who is wearing shoes that do not match. Do not match means what? Maybe one shoe of one size or one style and another one is of different one. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. That means he didn't take negatively. Understood? So everything they have a habit of taking positively. When I comment on it, he shuffles his feet and says nothing. I want shoes, says a third boy who has never owned a pair all of his life. So these children also have some dreams. Having shoes, having nice dress, having proper education, everything. These children are deprived of all these things. So traveling across the country, I have seen children walking barefoot. In cities, on village roads, it is not lack of money, but a tradition to stay barefoot. You see? So if somebody would ask, why do they go barefoot? For that they tell some stories. They say it is a tradition. We should not wear chappal or shoes. Like that, they cover their poverty. They cover their poverty, saying that it is a tradition to stay barefoot. Is one of explanation. I wonder if this is only an excuse to explain away a perpetual state of poverty. I remember a story. This is a story, let me tell you. So this narrator has a habit of going to a temple. There she used to see a boy daily coming and praying God. What for? For a pair of shoes. After a long time, again she visited that temple. Everything got changed. The small boy who prayed for a pair of chappal now grown up and become the priest of the temple, and his son going to a public school wearing school uniform, and there were some plastic chairs in his courtyard. That means the condition of that boy once who could not afford a pair of chappal got changed in due course of time, whereas the condition of these rag pickers didn't change at all. In order to tell this, the narrator narrated this story. So, my acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers lead me to Simapuri. He went to their place where they live, a place on the periphery of Delhi, very close to Delhi, yet miles away from it. You see, that place Simapuri is very close to Delhi. But the narrator says that place is miles away from Delhi. The reason is it is away from the development, because Simapuri is very close to Delhi. So you may notice lot of developments in due course of time, whereas in Simapuri there is no development at all. Those who live here are squatters. Squatters means what? Those who come and settled in that place without proper permission. Who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Saheb's family is among them. Simapuri was then a wilderness. That means before these people came and occupied, it was just like a jungle. It still is. It still is means what? Now also it is a wilderness. Though a number of huts got constructed there, small houses got constructed there, still it is a wilderness. That means they lead a life of some animals, but it is no longer empty. In structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewerage, they do not have sewerage and everything, nothing, no running water, no street lights. There 10,000 rag pickers live. They have lived here for more than 30 years. They have everything. They have identity. Identity means what? They have ration card. They have ration card. They have voter ID also. Clear? But they do not have any they have ration card and voter ID. So they say food is more important for survival than an identity. They do not have any identity means what? For the development, their suggestion is not at all taken. Understood? You see, whenever you do any development, you take the advice of the people those who live there. Here they do not have that identity, but they have voter ID, they have ration card and everything. And they feel very happy though they were not properly respected. They feel very happy because at least they can have some food to eat. With the help of ration card, they get food grains and they can go to bed without any aching of the stomach. They can sleep. So in that way they feel very happy. Who the people those who live in that Simapuri, they feel very happy though they were not given any respect. They feel happy that at least they can sleep with stomach full of food. So today we stop here and tomorrow we continue the remaining part of the lesson. In 3 parts I teach this lesson. If you like my teaching, you can subscribe to my channel General English All for Competitive Examinations. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time. Bye bye.